Hi friends, this is your pal Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk about the unbelievably, just like, man, this chick is carrying a katana and she is just wrecking fools like the most bad dollar sign samurai that's ever dropped onto the planet. We got to talk about Kelsey Dionne. We got to talk about what she's doing with Shadowdark and how Kelsey Dionne with Shadowdark completely culturally eviscerated the Grognard. All right, okay, so let's get in this. Let me define my terms. I am as shocked to see this as you, but I don't think the world is really understanding what's happening with Shadowdark. And actually, that's not just me saying, oh, I don't think the world, like, a ton of people are like, what the heck is going on with Shadowdark? Why is this the hottest game in the OSR right now? Why? She didn't do anything anybody else didn't do. Now that at blush that makes sense, but that's actually not correct. And we're gonna get into what she actually did with Shadowdark. This isn't everything, but this is an incredible thing that she did. So Kelsey Dionne is she's exactly like Gary Gygax. You look at her and you're like, what's going on there? And you think you see the shape of it, and then you're like, wait a second, there's something going on here that nobody is getting. Okay. All right, so here's why we're talking today. So I'm on Facebook. I went between December and March between December 2024 and March of 2025. I went to 3 different major tabletop role-playing game conventions, and I'm not even going to list them, right? If you go back in my videos, you'll be able to see which ones. But I'm not going to say which one because this is going to be a little embarrassing to whichever group this is, right? So it was a group connected to one of these conventions I went to, and they posted a picture on Facebook, and it said, "We're playing Shadowdark," right? And in the comments, one of the people said, "Oh, Grognard's to the last. Look at all you." And what is a Grognard, right? Let's talk about the macro Grognard, okay? The macro Grognard is a dumpy Gleard, right? Right. So Gleard is glasses and beard. I'm aware I got it, right? White guy. I'm not white. I'm Basque and Mattapanai. A dumpy Gleard Caucasian, old guy, right? So your macro level Grognard is a dumpy Gleard Caucasian, all right? And then the last part that makes them a Grognard, who is a complainer. And what do they complain about? Modern. They can play about D&D now, which right now is 2024 core rules Dungeons and Dragons, right? The 2024, they're all like 370 pages. They're all $50. They're all just brand new, just dropped. That's current D&D, right? Like 5i. I call that 5i. And it's complicated what its actual name is. But technically it's 5e. It's wrong to say it's 5.5, and it's wrong to say it's 6.0. It's not either one of those. If you say that the 2024 core rulebooks are 5e, you're technically correct. If you say 5e, I'll love you forever. If you say 5i, I'll love you forever. But that's the conversation. And they will complain. And Grognard literally means old complainer, right? So you got and I'm sorry, let me get the full list. Let me get the full list of the macro Grognard, right? Dumpy Gleard, Caucasian. Dumpy Gleard based Caucasian. Dumpy Gleard based Caucasian. Based means conservative, traditional, right? Almost certainly voted for Trump, okay? So that's your Grognard, right? Kelsey Dionne owns every Grognard now, okay? And I'm going to give you my evidence, right? So this post on Facebook, it was literally everybody at the table was exactly what I just said. They were a dumpy, Gleard, based Caucasian who complains about modern D&D. All of them, every single one, right? Like no diversity, right? No DEI here, right? Like no diversity, right? And they're all playing and the game they're playing is Shadowdark, and they're saying, "Hey, we all play Shadowdark." And somebody came in the comments and said, "Grognard's to the last. Look at you guys, Grognard's to the last," and he said it as a compliment, right? Now, first of all, Grognard is not a compliment. It means you're dedicated to nostalgia. That's not actually a good attribute. Grognard should not be worn as a badge of honor. It should be worn as a badge of shame, right? But many people wear it as a badge of honor, which is shocking to me. All right. So, yeah. So we arrive here. Okay. So all of this is going down, right? And yeah. So this is where we arrive. Okay. Or we are arriving here, okay? So we get to this point, right, where, oh yeah, okay. So how did she defeat Grognard? So first of all these people were fine. Nobody was like, oh, don't call me a Grognard, I'm not. They were all fine with that term being applied to them. They know they're Grognards, right? And so how did Kelsey defeat every single one of them? So first of all, these guys are dumpy, bleared, based Caucasians, right? And who hate current Dungeons and Dragons, hate whatever is out right now in current Dungeons and Dragons, right? Now, here's that based part, right? They're supposed to be very conservative, right? They're and so you're saying, hey, I'm conservative, red, I'm like Republican, I'm based, man, and no woke here. But like, what you missed is like, you guys are all like dyed in the wool. Like the only thing you're missing is the V hat, is the pink V hat, right? Like you are the most woked out, like hyper liberals possible. How? Kelsey did that to you. Look what she did, right? So first of all, Kelsey is, so what does Kelsey stand for? She's incredibly liberal, very, very left wing, right? Like super left wing, right? First of all, and why is that? Well, she's LGBTQ, right? So one, if you're down with Shadowdark, you're an LGBTQ ally. You're literally supporting an LGBTQ business, right? And you're supporting a woman running a business, right? And and if you're old school, right? All this is Grognard, I should say, is equals old school, right? But like, get this. So one, you're supporting an LGBTQ female creator. That doesn't fit with Grognard at all, right? These guys have been classically like, oh, guys first, like, and even based is like, oh, hey, women's places in the kitchen, like, oh, that's not, So that's, to say, hey, we support strong LGBTQ female creators is extremely woke, extremely liberal, extremely blue. Right? Not wrong. I'm for it. I think Kelsey Dionne is an incredible creator, right? There's no question. She is a podium tabletop role-playing game in the world. What are the best role-playing games in the world right now? Volume, it's D&D. Vibe, it's Shadowdark. Value, it's Outgunned by two little mice, right? That's the top 3 tabletop role-playing games in the world. She's got the number 2 tabletop role-playing game in the world, right? I support her, right? But what shocks me is that these Grognards are they've lost they've lost all self-awareness in this, right? They're supposed to be, I'm based, I'm red, I'm Republican. No, man, you are like, the only thing you are missing from your Democrat blue woke card is your pink V hat, man. Like, she has completely owned the entire Grognard template, right? Let's go further. I'm old school. Are you? Right? You just bought a game that excluded FLGSs, right? So Kelsey, I didn't know this. She just announced it at GaryCon 2025. Kelsey, get this, listen to this, listen carefully. She specifically goes to specific FLGSs and gives them hyper close attention and care and sells them every bit of her physical product to buy. I live in the Philadelphia area. I have literally never seen. The guy who owns my FLGS is a millionaire. Their stock is incredible. I have never seen Shadowdark on any shelf in the Philadelphia area. Not once. I've never seen it for sale on any shelf anywhere. Anywhere. Right? And that's astounding. That is shockingly astounding. Right? I went to 3 tabletop role-playing game conventions in the last 3 months. In the last 4 months. And didn't see it on a single shelf for sale. That is incredible. That is incredible. So how did they get their their copies, right? The odds are they did not find one of these precious FLGSs that she gave hyper close attention to and sold directly to, because they're extremely rare. I've never seen one. I'm deep in the weeds and I've never seen this game on any shelf, right? So what they did was they went direct and bought it right off her website. That is as new school as possible. There ain't nothing old school about that. If you're old school, if you're Grognard, you should be buying only from the shelf when a game hits the shelves at your FLGS, right? That is completely new school. So they're embracing completely new distribution channels. They are supporting LGBTQ. They are supporting women, right? And they're supporting incredibly woke content in Shadowdark, right? I played Shadowdark recently, and the dungeon master was like, here's your fighter. He does X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, wait, you got the pronoun wrong, buddy. This is a female character. And he's like, no. That's a pre-gen I created. That's a man. And I was like, no, it's not. And he's like, I assure you it is. And I told him, no, it's not. You handed me this pre-gen. This is a female character, right? And he's like, well, no. And then he picks it up and he realized there's no gender on the Shadowdark character sheet. There's not even a slot for it. That's incredibly woke content that Kelsey just kind of slipped in there, right? Kelsey owns the Grognards. She has put a pink V hat on every single one of their heads. Every single one of them will be at the Million Woman March next year, right? She has owned the Grognard space. Now, I want to be clear. I support LGBTQ creators in the TTRPG space. I support women creators in the TTRPG space, right? What I'm pointing out here is the absolute effortless, absolute complete domination of the Grognard template, and they don't even know it. They don't even know that they are full-on blue woke Democrat supporters at this point. And Kelsey did it effortlessly. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. The important thing is when I get to hear your humble opinion. You get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider like, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.